What's up, guys? I want to watch this video right here with you because it seems very interesting. Title of it is Exposed. Proof Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Now, this is pretty big. This is the President of the United States being accused of indulging in the same exact activities that got Jeffrey Epstein in jail. Now, we know that these politicians, they have enough money. I mean, anyone of influence and power, they do a lot of things to cover up their secrets. We see it in many different avenues that we're not going to get into right now. We're going to stick on Donald Trump. But this is going to be very interesting. So we're going to see what evidence and proof is brought in this video right here. And by the end of the video, we could come to our own conclusion. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to get caught up in just rumors. We want to see and discern what actually is the truth. And not to forget, Elon Musk recently just went on Twitter calling Donald Trump a pedo. So that doesn't make this situation worse. And that's what's really reigniting everyone searching and digging for the actual proof of him in these Jeffrey Epstein files. So smash like button, subscribe, especially if this is not your first time on this channel. If it is, welcome. Let's get into this video.
I think a lot of people need to hear this. But the fact of the matter is, Elon Musk was correct when he said Trump's in the Epstein files. I don't even really think it's debatable. I think it's a very black and white issue. I think there's very, very little gray area. So let me walk you through this here. And for the record, I'm only giving you some of the evidence. There is more evidence than this, y'all, but let's go through it. So let's start with this one. Midas Touch posted this the other day. Remember when Fox edited Trump's answer when they asked him if he'd declassify the files on Jeffrey Epstein? Okay, so here we go. You have Trump's full response on the left. Let's start with the one on the right, which is, this is the edited version that Fox posted of what Trump said when he was asked, hey, would you declassify the Epstein files? Listen to this.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Attorney General.
Did you notice that quick cut? One more time. Here we go.
Files.
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Attorney General.
So you saw the cut. You saw that quick cut. Here's what his actual answer was, y'all.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Boy, is that answer substantively different, isn't it? Yeah, I would. Although that one, less so because there's a lot of phony stuff in there and you don't want to hurt people's lives if there's phony stuff in there. Gee, I wonder who he's referring to, and I wonder whose ass he's trying to cover. One more time. Listen closely again.
That less so because,
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less
I mean, just even off of the I would. There was a pause for that question specifically. But this is still just going off of how we feel about it. We want to see what evidence is being brought to the table.
Because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
What a dishonest edit from Fox News. By the way, remember, Trump is suing, I think it's CBS, for how they edited a Kamala Harris 60 Minutes interview. So in his, if you edit anything at all about my opponents, then that means you're substantively helping them and we're not going to allow that. But when it's him, they substantively edited this to help Trump. And of course, for him, it's totally fine. There's no problem whatsoever. All right, I got more for you. Trump used to go on Howard Stern all the time. When he did go on Howard Stern, there were countless moments where he was a little too honest and he let the truth come out and he spilled the real tea. All right, listen closely to this one. Listen to what Howard says and then pay close attention to Trump's reaction. Here we go. You see his face? How did he respond? One more time. He's got a face of mild shame on, and when he's called a sexual predator, he goes, yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay. But then
I think that's just like a weird thing to bring up overall. Like even to laugh it off. To laugh it off is weird because if that was being brought up, I was like, what the hell? Like, what? Like, it wouldn't have been a laughing matter. But the person bringing it up is quite interesting also.
Get to one of the bigger pieces of evidence, which is something I've referenced on this show all the time, and I am astonished at how few other people bring this up. This story, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm about to show you here, this video clip, dropped, I think it was like within the month of the Trump versus Kamala 2024 election. And Daily Beast, it's almost this show, they're out of course, everybody
trying to get to the clip, fam.
For a decade.
Let's see.
For a decade. All right, here we go.
Charming. He is able to convince people. So he tells everybody what they want to hear.
So how do you know this?
And that was close to straight.
He has a sense of humor.
Oh, you heard that, right?
And that was close to straight.
He has a sense of humor.
Oh, you heard that, right?
Damn.
One more time. Here we go.
He tells everybody what they want to hear.
So how do you know this?
And that was close to straight.
He has a sense.
I mean, that right there is not a good look. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I didn't watch Jeffrey Dahmer, but I know he was a serial killer. Now, if there was anyone that was Jeffrey Dahmer's closest friend, I would have assumed that they would have known. I mean, hey, now we're kind of convicting him by association. You feel what I'm saying? Which it gives us a bias to the situation to say that Donald Trump was being involved in the things that Jeffrey Epstein was doing because that was his quote-unquote closest friend.
Sense of humor. It can be.
I was Donald's closest friend for out in this day, the inner workings of the White House and the staffers and everything that was going on. And who hated who, and who loved who, and who had a beef, and who was trying to get this guy fired or that woman fired. He knew all of the intricate inner workings of the Trump regime. How? How did he know that? Stop and think about that one. We'll come back to it, but let's keep going here.
He has a sense of humor. He can be funny.
He's right. His ability to sell. It's very much like Clinton. Both Bill and Donald have the ability to go over to a fat, ugly woman, say, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. She probably never had a scalp reduction.
By the way, all of these videos that you're seeing on the screen, there's multiple videos of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump partying together at Mar-a-Lago. In one of these videos, Trump points at a woman, to Jeffrey Epstein and says, "Ooh, she's hot, isn't she? Isn't she hot?" There's also a quote of Trump saying, Jeffrey, he likes him young. He likes him young.
Just get the same male pattern moment that we all have. There's not a horrible human being who does nasty things to his best friends' wives. Anyone who first tries to gain your trust and then uses it to do bad things. That's how it goes.
Okay, so what he's referring to there about how horrible of a friend Donald Trump is to his buddies, what he's referring to there, and again, this was in the detailed Daily Beast reporting, is Donald Trump would try to blackmail his friends into letting him fuck their wives, trying to cuck his best friends. He would have his friend come over. He would call his friend's wife, have her on speakerphone, and the friend wouldn't know. And he would talk to her and be like, I got a girl for you. You're going to love this girl. Why don't you come to the hotel room? You're going to love it. You're going to have sex with her. It's going to be incredible. And his friend would be like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. I want to meet this woman and have sex with her. And then he would hit him with, I have your wife on the phone here. And she heard everything. Guess that's a shame. Guess that's not. Maybe, you should let me have some time with her. And he would try to blackmail his friends into letting him fuck their wives. We also learned that the first time Trump and Melania had sex, it was on the Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile plane. I'm not kidding about this. All of this has been reported. I got more for you. Why Trump fears Musk's Epstein bomb most of all. Okay, so you might be sitting there wondering, gee, it seems like Elon went really, really hard at Trump, and Trump didn't really give him that same energy back, right? Like, he fought back. But relative to Trump standards, man, it was mild. You have Elon saying, I'm the reason you won the election. You couldn't have won it without me. You have Elon saying...
Well, I mean, that's because freaking Donald Trump cooked Elon Musk's financial portfolio. Like, he ain't do no talking. He just messed up Elon Musk's financial portfolio. He ain't even need to say nothing.
The reason you didn't release the Epstein files is because you're in the fucking Epstein files. And Trump's like, Elon's gone crazy. He's gone crazy, and he's doing drugs. He's doing a lot of drugs. And maybe I'll cut off your subsidies. Very mild by Trump standards, right? Usually he verbally beheads somebody and ruins their life. But he hasn't gone all that hard. Why? Well, you're about to learn right here. So Michael Wolff weighed in after the feud between two of the world's most powerful men, quote, escalated into nuclear territory. Listen to this. Donald Trump and Elon Musk's war has reached critical mass, according to author Michael Wolff. Musk just dropped one of his biggest bombs yet. Wolff appeared on an emergency episode of the Daily Beast podcast with Joanna Coles on Thursday to discuss the jaw-dropping developments between the world's richest man and America's commander-in-chief. Following days of fiery barbs from Musk, Trump finally retaliated on Thursday, prompting an all-out escalation from his former pal. In an afternoon post on X, Musk wrote, it was, quote, time to drop the really big bomb. The billionaire claimed Trump is in the Epstein files and that this is the real reason they had not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT, he added. Wolff said the feud had escalated into nuclear territory. According to Wolff, the best-selling author beyond multiple books chronicling Trump's rise, Trump and the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein were the best of friends for 15 years. They shared girlfriends, they shared airplanes, and business strategy, he claimed. Wolff claims he has seen damning evidence from those years that Trump would not want made public, including alleged lewd images of Trump and the sex offender who died by suicide in a New York jail cell in 2019 ahead of his trial on sex trafficking charges. Here's what Michael Wolff says. Listen to this. Quote, I have seen these pictures. I know that these pictures exist and I can describe them. There are about a dozen of them. The ones I specifically remember is the two of them with topless girls of an uncertain age sitting on Trump's lap. And then Trump standing there with a stain on the front of his pants, and 3 or 4 girls kind of bent over in laughter. They're topless, too, pointing at Trump's pants. Michael Wolff claims, I've seen the evidence, because remember, he did a long interview, a whole project with Jeffrey Epstein, trying to get as much information as he could out of him, right? He says, I've seen the pictures, and pictures include Trump with girls of an uncertain age, topless, bending over in front of him, stain on Trump's pants. Literal Epstein pictures, which effectively serve as blackmail on Donald Trump. Because remember, who's Jeffrey Epstein? There's a tremendous amount of evidence he's Mossad, Israeli CIA. Holy shit. Holy shit. There's been, it's been recorded that Epstein had met with a former Israeli prime minister on multiple different occasions. You have an ex of Jeffrey Epstein saying he used to brag about being Mossad. Okay, but we're not done yet. Trump appears in Epstein flight log 7 times. Lawyer says no damaging info exists. The day after Elon Musk claimed President Donald Trump is implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein files, Epstein's former attorney firmly rejected the allegation. Listen to this, because this is crazy. This is the rejection, by the way. David Schoen, who represented Epstein shortly before his death, took to X on Friday, June 5th, to defend the former president. Quote, listen to this. I was hired to lead Jeffrey Epstein's defense as his criminal lawyer 9 days before he died, Schoen wrote. He sought my advice for months before that. I can say authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitely that he had no information to hurt President Trump. I specifically asked that. Shortly thereafter, Trump shared a screenshot of Schoen's statement on his Truth Social account. So here's Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, who was like, bro, literally the first thing I asked was, do you have any dirt on Trump? So in other words, what the lawyer was thinking at the time is, hold on, you were best friends with the guy who's president now for a decade. And you just got locked up. Okay, interesting timing. Well, he assumes, I'm sure Trump is behind this, right? Trump knows Epstein's got all the dirt. Let's take him off the table. Let's take him out of the picture because I don't want any of that shit coming out. So the assumption was clearly this guy has dirt on Trump and Trump's trying to get it under control and arresting him before that shit comes out. And then now, here's Trump as president. What did he do? They did a whole fake Epstein files release that didn't fool anybody. He called all of his MAGA hack influencers into the White House, gave them a binder that said Epstein files on it. And then what was it? The Epstein files he released were literally a decade old. It was Epstein's black book reported by Gawker. But the Trump regime took it, redacted it further, and then re-released it and pretended like they were releasing the Epstein files. Gee, I wonder why they're trying to fool everybody and not release the real Epstein files. That's a tough one. And we all know there had to be some sort of frantic phone call made. Somebody from the Trump regime outlet, circle reaches out to this lawyer. Hey, you got to come out there and defend the president and say it's not true. And the guy posts it, and Lord only knows what they were threatening behind the scenes. But man, if anything, this denial feels like more validation, and it gets people thinking, well, hold on, what is the chain of events? Trump was president, and Trump and Epstein were friends, best friends, for over a decade, and there's allegedly all this dirt. Trump is president, and it's under the Trump regime that Jeffrey Epstein gets arrested and dies in prison? That smells mighty fucking fishy, y'all. Mighty fishy. But I got more. You know things are rough for you when there's literally an entire Wikipedia page to your sexual misconduct allegations. Since the 1970s, at least 25 women
just the thought of Epstein passing in jail doesn't sit right with me, to be honest. It doesn't sit right because, he was on his island doing his own thing for a very long time. I believe, especially with the connections that he's had with Donald Trump and a lot of other politicians, Obama, he's linked to a lot of politicians and celebrities. He could have easily gotten out of jail, faked to death in the media. He's living on another island. There's a lot of different islands on this planet, you know what I'm saying? So that could be another scenario.
Publicly accused Donald Trump of rape, kissing, and groping without consent, looking under women's skirts and walking in on naked teenage pageant contestants. I forgot about this story. Remember? Didn't he bought, what was it?
We can't use Wikipedia though, bro. We can't use Wikipedia. We know that Wikipedia is not you can't source Wikipedia on an essay. You can't do that.
Do you guys remember this? We covered this on Crystal Kyle and Friends at the time, but there's another one that slipped my mind because there's so much dirt on this guy that you get lost in all the dirt. This article is from only 7 months ago. It's only half a year ago. Donald Trump, this was a story that dropped at the time. Donald Trump groped me in what felt like a, quote, twisted game with Jeffrey Epstein, former model alleges. Stacey Williams says the ex-president, whose spokesperson denied the allegations, touched her in an unwanted sexual way in 1993 after Epstein introduced them. So she goes on to explain, she was a model at the time, right? And she knew Trump and Epstein, or I believe it was Epstein who she met first, and then he introduced her to Trump. And she says they basically passed me around like a piece of meat. And it felt like they had this twisted game that they would do with each other, right? And that they compete in terms of, hey, who can get the most out of her and who can touch her in an unwanted sexual way the most. And she said they would pass me back and forth and do this twisted sexual game. Again, this came out only 7 months ago, and nobody talked about it. We talked about it on this show, but I don't know anybody else who fucking talked about it. So think about what we already know vis-a-vis Trump. On the Epstein jet 7 times. Jeffrey Epstein says he was best friends with Trump for at least a decade. Over 25 allegations against Trump already of a sexual nature. Specific examples of women who've come out and told stories, and by the way, the MO is very similar in most of them. Allegations that get as bad as grape. The allegations about what he would do to his friends, try to blackmail his friends into letting him fuck their wives. It's endless. It's endless. Obviously he's in the Epstein files. We already know he was on the Epstein jet 7 times, and that's just the official record. The reality is if he was besties with him for over a decade, there were times where Epstein was on his jet, right?
But this is also the thing, though. Being on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 7 times is not a good look at all. You get what I'm saying now? And being Jeffrey Epstein's closest friend is not a good look at all. But is there going to be a case of investigating this entire situation with Trump with Epstein and them being right-hand men in doing these crimes that were done on the island? No. I don't see the American, CIA or the detectives opening up a case to take down Trump as a president. I really don't. He's the president. He's the CEO. You know what I'm saying? He's I feel like he's the one that cancels the case. If they start a case, he cancels it. But hey, you comment down below your thoughts.
Holy shit. All right, and then finally, let's not forget, y'all, the big moment that happened leading up to the 2016 election. And just think about what this says about Trump. and why he was such close friends with Jeffrey Epstein for such a long time. Remember this? This is the very famous grab him by the pussy commentary, but I want to highlight a specific thing he says here because it really shows the kind of guy he is.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news there.
No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Jeez, your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, the Donald has scored.
Whoa.
Oh, my man. Wait, you gotta look at me when you get out of your
Set this up.
That is
Will
very
you give me the thumbs
Look
up?
at you. You are a
You
piece.
gotta put the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up.
Reality TV Donald Trump.
Yeah, let me.
It's very
You
funny.
gotta give the thumbs up.
All right, you and I will walk there.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the publicist. No, it's her. It's
Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. Anyway.
I just kiss. I don't even wait. He's not done.
Use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Damn, bro.
You know, I'm automatically.
Why are they not showing him? This is like, not why are they just filming a bus right now? Like, why are they not filming the people?
Attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet.
So he's putting Tic Tacs in his mouth in case he starts kissing this random woman who he hasn't even spoken to yet. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
I better have these Tic Tacs because I might just start kissing her. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. If you're a star, they let you do it. You can grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. When he says, I don't even wait, what does that mean? This woman he's never talked to, I better put some Tic Tacs in case I just start kissing her. Bro, I don't even wait. He's saying, I don't wait for consent. That's what he's saying. And the thing about, when you're...
Hey, bro, I mean, look at it's not funny, but, like, it's just a wild thing to say. Like, that's just the wildest thing to say. It's just weird how they weren't filming, like, anyone speaking. Like, why were they filming the bus? That's the thing also. And, you know, something as small as that could take away the, you know, the credibility of a video like this. Because now he could just come on and say, yo, like, that was just, like, some voiceover or someone sounding like me or whatever, like Hollywood edits, boom, 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 because it's not him. You don't see him speaking it and saying it. But it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? I want there, if I would need to see like some solid evidence. But at the same time, like when I think about certain files being released, I also think about the Diddy situation. And I was covering videos on Diddy and what he was doing even before the Cassie video came out. But the Cassie video was just like the nail in the coffin. So I mean, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that Donald Trump was involved in the same exact things that Jeffrey Epstein was doing on his island? And bruh, even if he was, they're going to have even a harder time taking down Donald Trump than they do with anyone else possibly in this world, bro. Like, because now we're dealing with an entirely different type of person that has different connections with world leaders, politicians. Like, it'll be a very, very hard situation for people to do. Comment down below. I do enjoy reading your comments. Smash like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.